na wohwe dwom na awie na o se hwehwe saa niema yi Bible no rekere hwehwe nyamesam ene ne trene ne ho niema na dakese no ento kuma won zo wokoto abai etu MPP fokuma won krakora akode daada we mai this ye shada hye akraduru gware won na ye fro won kra no ngaba enya adesua mo bia na yehu se ubu oman a enyo ba kwa adwuma na ubu oman a utie nkrofo asem na utie na supam na wanye kanka bi wo kan obi nka bi dabi wo mu oman sa ubu oman nso ya udwen se tumi erenka wo sem da na dabi wo ha wuri nya tumi me de masem re ba wie no ojontufu bi ofren boni wila no ye dwom na ni dwom o se pass it on na dwom no na wie no o se if you live for yourself you live in vain, you live for others you live again. Se wo de ba manyo se ma ubu oman a umu ma wo ho nyina ho ma wo ho nye asetena eye wo nkwan a watsam no enkosi hwe na mom se wudi gina ho ana se wote ase ya gina ho ma obiara na no eno ne asempa no me gye de se MPP fo wo betie sa asem inu ngetie na sopam na wo adwen ho na daache no wonya tumi no wore ba biwa wo betie oman fo asem na wo beye ngapede medama se mitwa me ho kakra bi na meba me passa me ho ntama na yen asinkunwa ni ngadi oman hu nkomo medama se
Ready for something refreshing and great tasting for your kids' enjoyment?
Angel Cola.
For your graduation enjoyment?
Angel Cola.
Beach hangout?
Angel Cola.
For all your refreshing moments?
Angel Cola.
For your parties, get-togethers, events, and celebrations, enjoy a chilled bottle of Angel Cola.
Radio Grandma, today is your day. Over to you.
Thank you.
Enjoyment Cola.
Angel Cola.
The Enjoyment Cola. Enjoy all your moments and fun time with Angel Cola. This advert is FDA approved.
In this age, reliable and stable power supply is the bedrock of every development. However, a backup plan should always be for every business that wants to try to hit the ceiling. Peggett Engineering and Company Limited offers that plan. They are the importers of brand new original super silent Cummins and Perkins generators from the UK. Peggett is also the sole importer of comfy air conditions that comes with an inverter. At Peggett, we undertake installation and servicing of solar panels, generators, and air conditions with certified ECG installers. Here, everything is done in a professional way. Call now on 0244 599 124 or 0265 468 434. Peggett Engineering and Company Limited. Locators at Ahinsan Kumasi, adjacent the Kumaruman Rural Bank or opposite the China Mall. Peggett Engineering and Company Limited. The entity you can trust.
You need a shoulder to cry. Run on my pampas, so we try our suicide. Yeah, let bygone be bygone. I didn't see what the button go do. We go straight to stardom. And I go take you to next level. Oh, baby, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The energy next level. Back, baby, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll take you to next level. Oh, baby, oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't boldness level. Excessive drinking can be detrimental to health. Not recommended for persons under 18 years, lactating mothers, pregnant women, and people sensitive to caffeine. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Dali lemon wuso yo Ghana form da mase medin di ani mesrem akensie ye ba dali lemon wuso mesrem mon vote mame me code no ye
star 714 star 44 hash ani number 5
Ready for something refreshing and great tasting for your kids' enjoyment?
Angel Cola.
For your graduation enjoyment?
Angel Cola.
Beach hangout?
Angel Cola.
For all your refreshing moments?
Angel Cola.
For your parties, get-togethers, events, and celebrations, enjoy a chilled bottle of Angel Cola.
Radio Grandma, today is your day. Over to you.
Thank you.
Enjoyment Cola.
Angel Cola.
The Enjoyment Cola. Enjoy all your moments and fun time with Angel Cola. This advert is FDA approved.
Hello. Takwa manfwe aya modoba awoche no kase. Oye bibia onye bitrio ma badale lemon woso season 3. Me pede wo vote mam na me jakinsi me de batakwa na mi code no oye
star 714 star 44 hash awoche number 9
Tiefo ni ahwefo yangaba irisi nkunwa sesi ya yansa ebrekura efise bri ni ho ene yendumadi no yanga asem edopon so ye ba akopɛ o se 2024 elections the NDC Demolition Job of polls forecasts and prophecies yankomo no so nso ya nya kira na se abatu we ekoto wi NDC fo ebubu MPP wonga hinkro ni nyina gu fom na den ne farabai de na wen ebi mu se polls nkrofu kohwehwe mu hu se oyi no bedi ene di sa adwuma no ebi mu nso se nkrofu bi de won de wo hwe na wo de won ani bu no wo ye won kontaa bi na wo hu se oyi no bedi na ebi mu nso se eye won a wo kazi won ahu onyankopon akabribi a kire won na enuntie na bebam na enu ne di so eye no ya na enye no yo ana den na ma MPP ofie konwa so ene ye nsam a ye bebisa no ene nam sa ne me hu yeri ntwa en ani nso ye nyi en ani mfi ne ekoso woto abani wie eye se won apa ku bi a worehwe na ntoto papa ba na omenyi what to me am NDC fo no ngadi omenyi so and our friend transitional team juma waye no the joint transitional team fe ye nkomo no nso bi beko ade seyere koso wo menmu ha eye mabum bi atewagu monten so sey aban nyuma wiewia ne ma wo ho so ya asempa nti ne ye nkomo ni nyina ye bako ya abato ho asem nunti mpanimfo a onyame ayen adom yensa aka ye no bedi so adwuman nia oka ho ana onipa ba akone Dr. John Osan Kwapon ono oye CDD oye adwuma wo CDD Ghana Center for Democratic Development na yene ne bakasa awo hamam eye zoom fe nia odiso owo studio a me teacher Dr. Kumi Ansakwei yew oye senior lecturer Department of Political Science o hapa ena ni odiso eye Dr. Christopher Ampedu ononso oye West African Director Samaritan Strategy and lecturer Pentecost University. Openiwa oka ho eye Mr. Felix Kwachi Ofosu oye transitional team yi abang no a erebe ne kasamafo NDC fo mahama kasamafo wota adwumadi no ho na won ato abanso yayi no obroni kira oye MP elect for Abura Asebu Kwamankase. Openiwa di so Nana Akomea se na munim ne da Nana Akomea ye MPP ni no ye vice chairman awo Bawumia campaign won na wode won si forma wore ye adwuma bia ma Bawumia ba yew enunti mpanimfu a ene yensa aka woni ye bedi sa adwuman ene nkomo na ye bokko ewie nso a ye be ma tiefo ne ahwefo kwan na won afra kire won adwene me kai mo se eyomanga na ne edwen ho enye maabo enye tuoto enye dede uwa asema kira wadwene asem tietia ma wo kasa nye de enye huam yew eno na ye hia wo se adwumadi so yew eno nti ye fi dwumadi na asiara se ye fi ntemtemtem ye nse bere kwara esa se biri ni ho Dr. Nsakwei yew boto abai wuhu ne course ansa ne beto wuhu ne course biri biara ye ngato abai wie na ne course nyina wuhu ne dan
1992 mu 93 year back transition to this democratic dispensation Lawrence PNDC Abemu say democracy and I say kebi aba ya memu style no fisa brain and we need the kind of elections ya ye bia sign na sanya mi se hu we fire no me no e call yiye generally young electoral commission no say we here dey kakra fine we delay kakra in some areas na say any weakness elections be any 100% perfect until we delay in some areas say that's one area anchor next time we should be able to do improvements. I think so sir we collection centers no say asemo ho and say here hu yiye nyame na oye adom anka basabasa esi ne krabi tumi aba we collection centers are there no nten say ya twe hu yiye na ye hu ne ibesi aye na afa na bibia chi no say call yiye ma bibia aye fine obehwe previous elections no we elections no party we sorry court or challenge result no we dey ye call yen enim lecture commission and for results na makra and opening Bawumia auditum say wedding kugu efe e kire ni bue e kire so say party organization and yen electoral system no e recourse yi in time say still a ye call yen enim wo democracy and secretary me no abemu na mo me nche say ya ye perfect near to sing me sa delay kakra be babebe mu no and na basabasa ba in some particular constituencies few and ye bebre
delay no ebi ni hefa ebi ni dem delay na ye hu no
delay ni say electoral commissioner no ono in charge of the presidential election and said that formally admit say declare result no one delay a chair do it took days. But Senyema Koyiya and this should not be so. And a matter of hours. Intina Bawumia nim say Senesi Kono or ye. Na Sobe Kaya Brea Kosono NDC catch the Biba Bema announcement. Say and delay no wo fele say bibi na ekoso nti na delay na reba enti NDC fi nyina nhye wo convention center so ene say na enye fe enti bi some of the example of the delay ehun hia no enti am say results could have come out earlier even than what they did. But no currency say enye bebia na yes a few areas but presidential one dey say a chair dodo e say can results about
collation center wo kan ho asem den na hu wo ho a entwe yi judge bi can say bi na no kware trudo wo bebia osi elections are won on the field and your courts and we win elections na we collection centers no what can say we collate enti anka on the polling stations na we ni na hono no obi win a dead obi lose a dead because observers and agents na one so na work can na we bibia enti a matter of simple addition keke calculator computer simple addition e say we to me hu actually within a day or two baby I will win then when the collection center what the results in a boom na one collate na one year we no e man crofo binum team year one na kakra e year on sa adwemboni bi ya ba binum team and e be person wo fa adwemboni bi enti any delay ya na me kan kwasem no because strict on the polling station baby I what to abana hodom na how results here declared enti no simple say we be tie phone aha yenya say wa obi hu kwanse so na Bawumia de hu say anye manage this time no enti any baby am say improvement between abemu enti any ya one area two am say party for so one yard when you not to me organize ma we elections no fine but am said they were too quick to go to the media Brad delay no man we fu gbagba wo hwan wa ha we fu gbagba ho na enye edasum enfasum dwe then anka it is a woye
anka say what twen kakra anka say we issue press release we are disturbed yenti delay ya say results are obvious why they delay press release enya enough but to ask participants say go to the collection centers and monitor there no anarchy
na
and anarchy and to ask amafo kwa basa beba amafo kwa won't me control won yiye enti no sama amafo di so yes ankan ye in fact nya me fe bakopa no nya Bawumia ye no wan twankura ma wan kan tren say we lose onya jitum because elections are won on the field into onyo hu say ye into jitum ntem wan twankura ma chakro chankasa e fe ye na e jasundwe so ebua masundwe so bai pa
na nkrofo nso ne party fo nso bo no so bo say oba bontentam dodo
eno muya won ene ya won party bia wa for on die hearts won won de wo be kwa kosi woni tua say wo bo no krampa slow be ko ebinim te sa enti party bia wo mu na no ye ane ya ebua Ghana e by election mo say ye binom ye ne say ya de party no si ho say bosom na mo say ye say Ghana mom ne ye bosom enti party fu no bi de wo bono kra onje ntum se wo bono da wo kunu kra onje ntum da opese wo prayer egu enfa wo ho enti safo no de enfa wan sam ye hwe obi abun se oyes ade no won an wedi next the crampo emu pi abun se ohun isan yeye no oje tum we lusu ene ye yase awie be san ba bi o mama lusi onu so lusu poto nso ene wasan ba bi o manfo na asan yi no ama ene wasan ba bi o we figures no lusu poto but never san ba bi o enti onu so onko dwen na on strategize na so ba bi wa ye hwe na momu no em so hear the right is all come in them niam we be some question say my observations apart from delay scriptures we no police force so one so em say me so be kakra fa wo ho em say one so we betumi aboa Ghana democracy if say next time there were elections bia BBC straight out can be as I say what they no court what we investigate what they call court straight now obi enhu say subembo how we in dia amanfo any njem kra I say watch it now we investigate we have been arrested now obi anya we hwe ya enye because if you see one spot now one you be hwe ya other areas so imitate copy. Name say be see during this election. And the police and judiciary, they must agree, say, and they must treat election issues with all speed. What shall say, who cry way out 1 year way out? Now you answer what you be, who cry ballot bosses, who be investigated, won't issue bill. Won't issue bill. Now better say, Obi Koya way, Obi person snatch away, Obi Koya basa. What them won't issue bill, and yet and more democracy. Now so when just say, yeah, Debiano, Ebekoso. Nti em say margin war election ho na em say ya de one what to aba one what to wo gina one we bia na em say obi ya de maso twi na anye bebre nsem sisi ni nso no e ketu e bi pen esi anye serious nti em say obi agetum say nya ye no e fe eso ni
Dr. Mamimi Saw resource na nkasa wo hwe ne MPP nyan ne NDC nyan wadwene wo ho den
margin wo ho ne say Ghana for your renew about 2 mu. Ma ba modern say me nipa pi bekasa. Na say ahochere and o manu mden aye no ye a major reason tia nkrofo to aba no. First na ntesa. First na abato no nkrofo de adwene bebre na eto. We ma misika, we ba meyeye, we ye minua, we ye we but we de nkrofo hu say aban obeyi no ono na obe affect o enti nkofo de sebe e koma e de won anasa ho kira I will menum no I'm say what to aba mainly but parties soon na organize well when you change juma won aye na mom na ye enough am for person sebe won hu san won kakra na wo pe ni a e be ma aye ya ma won time say no hu ne ni a wo de ye na no kwan so no say Kufuado number 2 I mean presidents will be the last 2 no emu ye den kakra all my skills say we Russia Ukraine war all my skills say COVID then nyina but for obi out here kura no de the only man say aban we asem say breso no nyema mu ye den enti am say na ho kire breso nyema no ene na ekosto Bawumia ne campaign no na am say both NDC and NDC nya obi ayade in terms of campaign in terms of sending their message into one day me feel say you know obi aye na so ye
na wosha nia ekosi obi betumi ekese Ghana democracy yere ko enanim ezo wohwe wongato abewie adese ye ekoso
ya ko enanim democracy bi ene ho a nsemsi na mom no ya ko enanim so na me se kan no for the first time you know no major party is contesting in court. Say electoral commission when Germany na court declare result and a court in tank result and say achievement and say yenimko. Yanko yenim because na say kan so no. Ni odina pa anka opese oye we no. Ono kasa pobe kan say made in kugu mama minsaso. Kra ansana isi no be ma result. Ni na ye example say yanko yenim. 3 no 1 or 2 areas we pen the matter say be person work court. MP dey no. Na otherwise no obi agi atom. And I feel so no 4 no maintain say obi requesting electoral commission said yeah results said that no and you correct nya meti mom ni say people my excuse ya semesi no ye ya ban ya omem na ye den anankofo anya wan dwuma ya na say bi diska so within watches ka wan mama bi na when we wo man inti na mo bia nkan say electoral commission anya dwuma yi and ye ade ahu hia pa because in some countries to say every coast election sir at the civil war by no Liberia no nyade nyina no electoral commission rule out play no was very questioned very critical but to be question electoral commission no edwuma why so far na ye me na America say collection centers no one here ni na there were a few flaws there and yanko yen mampa
wo hwe IGP and police edwuma IGP hwehwe women ha wabato no ho ene se na police fo di ye adwuma so wo ye ne pepepe
wo yade that mean can say it was perfect so na me see clear no there were delays for example 1 or 2 constituencies in Ablekuma problem C no I think the response was not quick enough response was not good enough and therefore nearby ne say nanka other areas copy Ablekuma constituencies no we break one constituencies no we yes we no because response police them to me am man tentem no and other areas resistance violence na sabasa yen into we the generally but next time no there should be rapid response and then immediately can say police and a judiciary were working now immediately we so be no nobody no court elections are yina wo watching crofo we hear basabasa we yes but one take ni ekosi when awie hold man na so party win ya no one jaw and answer baby etisa nti say nye
yo doctor da wase what you find edi kan abegu ma menko doctor san kwapon so ho o zoom no so doctor wo ho amawachi o
meje also
ohunemu
nyame adomi huye na nso
nyame ne hene doctor men tua nkumu asobua ejaba na ne wani tua abato musi didifo mo hyen pomu ton haban be pete monten so pose duru gware obia se bibia nko fefefe ne mu hu mo kan me bɔ maba so se na mu gina ho de ne CDD mu kire Ghana fo ne ma bi ne ho ne ma wo wie ne won akoto aba en ato awie doctor abane yato no hu ne dan
yo me da wase michia weti fu so anopay abato no de meka say the way our results no coin no manka na meboa eyeme nwa kakra ewu mu say dwumedia na ye wo CDD efa Afrobarometer ho no o share especially results are from round 9 2022 now to me who say the way na Ghana for trewon adwene fa niema bebre hu senior government ne manage economy level of perceptions about corruption trust in institutions ne sanyema no now they to senior wo bua yen round 7 2017 na utumu say na Ghana for started rekasi the way na abang rebu omang no na to sing kakra and you know the warning signs were there na say discontent wo and sanye mano ohia edu abato so time pe na say it's a referendum on the ruling government you know now to me say MPP abang the yereko abato mu na there were early signs that won betumi ache won kakra but at the same time in so no o share young round 10 Afrobarometer na jumadini bi wo na bangnere ya na Ghana footage na any day who in terms of ye bisa asembisi inti niema abangiri ye emuni ewehi na yeto abani via next government obeba no eso tiaso free SHS number 1 almost about 85% free SHS they are bound for born tiaso one district one factory almost over 70% are bound for born tiaso timeno me hu sa ne ma me see you wo musa abangi hu ache wo mom but support for one policy CB chair say ebia Dr. Bawumia betime gina so akase o sa ne me ya yegusu ye ya Ghana fo se won ani je hu o hwe me na o hwe Orajon Mahama me ma bank policies intino me na metumi ahwe na ya tuaso but not beyond Afrobarometer and so now we share some of young economic indicators fine na ebia start to show improvement kakra but na over na you didn't come now to say nkofo you know ka about ahochia abaniade afi so ya yedu sa 8 years na normally 8 years na so yes saba into now kikasa anyema ni na boma now to say you abang otisno hu betumi atren but say na misika you know support for some of one policies so no na ma me feel say ebia MPP for no betumi ama won ho ache won kakra na even if so omendi nkunimpo difference no between the winner and the loser no enye to say near you know. And you know, results started by up until a declaration na share gap no na share even places are na MPP places are NDC for to me when na nwa kakra me catch me who say ebia over the last 2 years especially no ebia na Ghana for the extent of ebufu and Ghana fumuno about the state of governance. So probably no underestimate kakra in terms of the extent to which they would vent that out at the polls. And you know that may surprise bakwa adi bakwa ye no kakra di kang about election. But if a battle no de overall no bibia ko kama you yet to abaya yehu isolated incidents of basabasa kakrani ade, but I'm glad say on a general scale it may say a battle nina. The other point I'm raising so share edu a battle so na government or power no try say obey inuma at the last minute to show say you see whether it's the commissioning of new projects near day. But I think say one of the lessons Ghana voters share and say to me in fact 1 to 2 weeks and correct it near one will feel say over an 8-year period or even a 2-year period, no, how they are feeling. Known to me, in fact, 1 to 2 weeks of commissioning new projects to wipe all of that out. And I hope, say, it serves as a lesson to young politicians, no, to make sure, say, so we among now a daily process of doing and delivering key policies and development outcomes. Yes, ABI many be more towards the end, but when intensive commissioning, cutting of sorts of projects in the idea, now to say those things don't make a difference at the very last minute because again, near voters and neither so no. One train say akabe 1 or 2 weeks I bet to advance and I'll bet you won't say or say Jumanama.
Doctor, watch it. I've been one some be who share results now region by region. You are, and also uhune den hefa na nwa hefa na we need success anebe
young parties, young 2 leading parties, ne obia wone stronghold intino unim say eyedenga MPP be weni Ashanti or be weni Eastern region unim say eyedenga baby to say Volta now Savannah near the northern unim say NDC be weni other places be competitive. Ashanti region, minim say na MPP for any daso in terms of voter turnout, right? Say party biade o share nim say o strong base of support no will turn out massively for you, you know, to at least show you up kakra. Intinayem kakra to have seen the level of voter turnout or Ashanti region for MPP. Or share even parliamentary seats, no, say in not even just in Ashanti, but or share other regions. Baby say I am Honorable Kennedy Yepong Sita and there akudi NDC phone sem say intino sa some of those obibese flipping of seats near then so nwa kakra na emame senior bidikan kai no na chere say Enibria Ghana for near before Ghana for the Kotoa Bano now utum say na no ye show pa na no ye show
ba ho na mamem ko Dr. Christopher Ampedu ho na miwi a mesan aba ho bio yewo Dr. Mpedu machien
yenyo na mo hote sen
hunamu
yes
Tampedu wo ho ana
wo ho pa o ntiminka
won ato abawie ni akọ yewo won so impression hu aba ne den na koye ma won den na nkoye ama won ntentiam na fe yemra ne yemhwehwe nsem bi te se ne ma aban no ohwiri tumi na fe nkomo e ka won ye ni
yo dog dog me chia tifo na ahwefo nso me network nti na video no me say
anya hwe yeto won nkwan ye ye de wo photo bato so nti wo de kasa
yo be das ti we chia tifo na ahwefo nyina elections see just say one of the biggest surprises are Ghana for yenya for some of us a big surprise but not expected because of senior Niema Kono. Enti those surprise no I expected because na ahwoche wo ho. Sounds so na enyo ebri so cost wa with me say antwa yi. Besides I me say NPP for so ensure lessons bebre because even we share elections course so e was enough. Last minute development ye ya kwan ye we ya ni nyina no woman to am woman can no should serve as a lesson but then still baby again say last minute at the year no e betwe aba ama omo na anya baby so it me observation the first na a big surprise even though it was expected na surprised because Abia baby we are expecting say hodie MPP stronghold Ashanti region Eastern region they say oh hatanfo to be bogura who stronghold park of Sawaba anako win constituency they say a surprise Kobani saying then I'll kind later a bit discuss it but then I think one of the biggest surprises in terms of if you look the massive and overwhelming victory NDC Awini in terms of for me parliamentary voter I been see that adekesia bigidi say suahunu bebre ewumu later MC ebehwe enti am say kakra metimi aka afa ho for now I don't know doc
near course institutions and way won adwuma security police for asrafo and electoral commission sa arrangements are one year and send way won adwuma hu ne den
that's it electoral commission yeah me say na omu ye omu adwuma say na yeso mu ye no the security agencies soon impa the new say sa abatui they should be in very high alert they should maybe a very surprised say omuti twen ye ma bi mu nya akwan kwa attack police stations etimi say niema e bilim vandalism bi a eba ye na senia e bi mu nya kwanya no ye senia mo penam I was surprised the sense say security focus wo mundim pa say some of these things e be see be say na nom Ghana for and they knew do how come say e bi mu nya akwan cause such a mess security for a war or even helicopters for just a quick response to issues. What happened? Many because the minimum say especially the police service so well equipped, so well prepared, so may respond to emergencies. We share the sort of vandalism BAC areas here. Now somehow no, I want it. Senior, I mean, they were slow in responding. I mean, Jesus said, "Do some rea and the security agencies, must stand out to say, oh, Juma, our constitution, the amount, they should do it without fear or favor." Into security agencies, they're not. I mean, say, in fact, to say even now, no crowd we share testimony. Share the ability to me, yeah, why they should be allowed to do what they want. And but somehow now we are slow in terms of the security agencies, Electoral Commission and the MSC also why from the but again we share pressure party for the two of Musua. Now again a home fan so now I was expecting say they will get maximum protection from these security agencies. Apart from that, the MSC say voters so the only problem had to do with say political parties need be aviata to say or can be so no it's a so way to do what they want. No such impunity na high drink kakra. But the young ones say at least na abenewie.
Near security phone, police phone, near maybe found and so nente say basa. Soon say, in who say, Sana, Mebungo, Koto share, collation centers one, and never be anyone with my.
Well, I was the college centers, so now, it's a maximum security, echo. Oh, we had last elections, I tried one. Nipa bishi omunkwa. Can say banisa. Omo shi omunkwa no. Where did it happen? By a mra coalition no I say take place. Ho. Enna mentu me ho ase anya adwuma maybe no wuye. Now, we a big lesson. Nti idea see security agencies who say in times of yatu abena coalition for the baby be declare kono e hona sini nyina ewo enti say ewo measures be say put in place na ye hwe say protection ballot boxes ne niema kan nyina say hwe so ne ani kokopa. These are the areas. Yes, yeah, po for my bunu die. Or my ataso say, as so petty every no. Sanya, yeah, can I want you know here? Baby woman, we will nkwankwa. The woman can be castle. And I think security for him women now. Until now, say, nka, my kwankwa, my mutimi, a question elect. Commission for officers no so like say minimum can ye for so warm mom declare near man say declare and now say bimpo collapse in the account. I think is a testimony say they didn't get the protection. The nation couldn't protect these electoral officials. Send the say protect you entina it be ban sir. All these were anticipated. Nti seni obutiminya ho kwan etimi kugura coalition centers sese niema ebi kratimi ko she electoral commission for dying in a kanka ho no. I'm not saying say they didn't do much, but let me feel say they could have done it more as people are professionals. Omunimu adwuma omo ya just seem to be a Emma.
so muna meba ho Dr. Ansakwe yen common ye dia ba bedu resource by den e pese ye hwe den ne ma MPP fo wo lose power
ehia bre pa na odi ayewe nemum no enim nsu ade e de pa ne se ahokere ana ewo oman numu no ahokere ewo oman numu no ma ne pepi ye wa adwene se wasesemu ahokere no MPP abana kasa no one man excuses whatever one home modern Ukraine Russia Ukraine war then COVID then but then ahokere ewo man numu no ka ho na eka ahokere kakade a anka ahokere po de ewo Ghana feed dada na mu be ye den kakra na ya so na ye back on na etia bi nso ne se nyeme PC mu wo omanuma na nkrofa dwom ye wona
ebi ne den
ebi ne minister ba wo hu sika woni dan mu ekosi sen den obi nim obi nton hwe bi o enti na akwese corruption keta hye ena efi nso so no se wo ye ka ya ho de otume ye ni awo pe wo hu a ene se ka ho enna sebe nso won a wonya post no so ebe di ahantan na den na ebu bra on kasa yi anawfra wo ma nom ni ade na se we nyina record so na ho kire aba na ho se ebinom de wo sika wo wia pa wo hu se wo wia wo sika na obet na hwe si na we ba yanka is is serious because and your first time I see Ghana ni nso be si awie no hwe ma enti emma won a won nia ben mu ya ye nia ben mu na ye te ye mbaabi no ye feel say suro ho ye pa na won a wo honom no emfa won ho wo muaye enti wo kire mu say den say we na ya won jindi efi say see kan so say already no nkrofo wa idea say 8 years bia no as I say abano was semu na no kware ne say to me na no people dey anya big excuse because abano dey best sack I go for going to me mabio because the 8 years no aso enti anya dan anka abano best sack e be call ofofro nsemu na so ofofro no 100 antum say or your meat or person or your driver was who say on the driver no so sure bia na won temu enti people to me ama and dance from say change river driver aye bibia and say meeting so ba obeyesa when to me amanfo anje sasem na ntum amanfo so buafu dada nyama kokoso nya de no allegations of corruption and na nyama enter sumu and na delay in these projects no and if you say Mr. Obi kind no late commissioner of projects nya de nyina no na ma man for sale nkrofo one fine sell mofra also we tuna we dia dada ye nti we nim nyina ka ho na we say wolu supporto sa no
yen hwe bribite say sania wolu sun wo hwe Greater Accra constituencies bebree MPP nya be ya biesa over 30 bese 34 na MPP nya ebisa na nkranga bato no wo hwa den na course I was say ye nhwehwemu na hwe na mum animanimu ya wo hwa nkran Greater Accra MPP na ansa na wo ba ben no won adim kunim kasepa afide ye den na wonya biesa
Greater Accra region no fititete wan kire say woni ho ma obia fititete all our elections fin chroma breast ya besine wan kire say woni ho ma obia untu nka say Ashanti MPP stronghold voter ye we this into no Debbie antisa Greater Accra no time bia no ahokire wo man numu e na sanya banu buna akomi semi adefa no na wo hwe wo ye enti ne offer no swing state ni bi enti sa enti ahokire na me nkoso nyina na Greater Accra so no nipa pia no aboa hanum sa but hanum na ayoma no capital enti no nipa pia no aboa wa hanum enti no ne ekoso no ne ha amanfo no what no more ne ekoso no bia ya we say ngofi what yiye wona ma na siren police siren big men bi ba gina nchen na we say no nyina yehu ye fele nti wono wonye obiara de ahotre no and say ha ma for pa na when to me I'm as a sank of Andrew ma wan dia ntumu wo can greater crab at me can same be oti region no MPP abana ebe create sa region no nti akebe yo bi say wo nyina beto ama we nso onum wo nyina to ma MPP oti region kra
Otoma NDC
nti who was some nyama here back when it says side there say we the no am say you winning side there say we to yafa obi for granted so we the anya dan obesi amam you winning
Doc Mbacho so what say mo na menko afiri no so na me ne nana Akomea nkasa nana machi nana machi na ohunemu yo nana ejaba yanga to aba uhu ne dan
o sa ba de geto ya che ense na oche ba kuni njo bi ehu na cost
yo
NPP na yin se o tre enya fitne bu senatina na UNIDEK, the odds were against us. Economy na yeno free 2021. About the toy neno. Yeah, I mean, sir. And the memoir things. Abantu yene uno bitna na timi amani ma Africa clan. But because of economy, it teach you. Now you can say. UNIDEK MEDIA underdogs. This is the kind of feel. And here yeah pulling pulling every month a free February March home. Now you will not hear John Mahama no the impact. By September October. Na ye poli ni chese ye kunsu gap no kakran nti na ye shiri se presidential now so sana na ye shiri na barisa and as na ye sukura se sani din kugu na betini abanisa but ye hu se what results now is the young supporters ni pa to ma yen last election 2020 I had 6.7 so 6.7 no and if I never said 2 million and quanko to a bank it's also NDC vote now we have 6.2 million election year 2020 and yeah no now we have 6.3 much as a man said that do not share me pina anko kamo. Because I say 2 million over to my end, or one quanko to a bank. And she the battery and bonaya shame as Nentia at the Fuaba dinner mama Bamupuya, or Manco polling station on Quanko to a bank. Now, wouldn't say every polling station be an your electoral register and war. Party be a whooping. The Nipano, we have a tour banner, you're taking it into a million supporters are their polling station, be a supporters, no man shedder, or man babber to cry. And you bet in every polling station. The Nipa best 15-20 crack aside every polling station across the nation. They among from Kotua Banapa. Now they are can't for the next election. That's it.
Yo, Nana, which was someone which is na economy no how mo nunti nona equity amokese. Now apart from that no then near man na wugye de say how mo aka ho nye economy ne nkwa bibi foforo ka ho.
Oh, me can say economy na kutia yen. Me say it's not na economy na yen tipo. Na yen say na election no ebe o say
mpacho na o say economy na yen na me say na yen den.
Oh, say na make sure say in free 2021 yen yen say economy no aye. Inti yen say ebe kutia yen in the economy into the underdogs.
Okay.
We need to make a new tree. Under because of the economic situation. And the polling opinion survey free January. Next year and say you were trade but maybe September, October, no not close kakran. Say the election result to be close. And because of economy, we are coming from the back. But near my potential economy no and it's a difficult for someone. I think you have 3 and book. They say your supporters will be 2 million and can't go trouble. So come to my NDC and Quebec say, hey, Biana, almost feel say. John Mahama niswa niswa die humu eno mo be bo achen ye but o ma koto ama John Mahama
yo na wonye nhwehwemu ye na mum wo hwa den wo de wadwenu bobu we experienced person, there's no doubt about that. Na wo hwa den na amanipa nkoto mo supporters ankoto abamam onye research eno de mejetum
so I would say nhwehwemu ya party ba be ye Ebi anam me say me ka ho. Enti me reserve me akaba me opinion for now.
Okay.
Because the team now be and me across the country. So ebi na me ka ho. Now already no wa change it na any right.
Okay.
But you be at Ajman and should be intended. And that's not my control. Every polling station, because every polling station be in your electoral list register here for every polling station. And your agents will be about the 2 ban. You take kilometers. If you support us on more polling station now, on ban. You need more polling station also. If you don't change them, say nipa say it means 20 kasa in every polling station across the 40,000 polling stations. And the mayan jinaso minima potentia nipa nanka nkoto aba. Na ye there no esi ejina. Say there open cry just wow suspicious keke. But some medical can. Yeah, the economy no it will always be a factor.
Na na mami misaw onye nhwehwemu ye eno de mejetum na wo hwe ba bi to say western region no mo ene ehoniama nkrofo kase galamsey how mo uje de say eno nso betima ye bibi mejetum say unkobisa ansam wo monten so ye na wo hwa
who said a bit ye bibi but one who said doc
papa
because penipano ankotoaba across the country. Maybe I hear 2 gallons say. Maybe I hear 2 gallons say. Maybe I hear cocoa. Maybe I hear cocoa. Maybe I hear 5-4. Well, because they are across the country. The general factors now.
Okay.
So you lose Galamsey areas no kwa and then you say oh and a Galamsey no a factor. Me sure say Galamsey is a factor. But as I said, in Nipano Anko to about across the country in every region and obviously the other reasons at the camp. And it's a 3 and more. Any reasons nipa no do na because maybe a Galamsey, maybe a second one, or because maybe a third one, or because way. E better you na sensitive. because let's see across the country.
Yo, Nana Misao, what shall batu ya, dang na ko pepe mau, dang na unko pepe mau.
Oh, I did about one. A yes from co electing him, Mr. Eve Bawumia. Sir, or G2 9 a.m. On Kusiada. Electoral Commission for Tataramo Bo constituency back. Bawumia G2 election of Father Fred John Mahama first. There's 8 o'clock. And at 9 o'clock, no year press conference, elections, no, NDC one, from Mahama, to our friend Mahama, Abona Basso. Ebi see that, since your party elections in 1992, na NPP, NDC, na ya concede sa. So, the guy, 2016, they see here, let's just have something in the Montana Yitina announce results. But we know electoral commission point one constituency results and not Papa Namo Ejitum. And the idea Obia Bonabas, a big theater, a framework, a shares a democracy as a free 1992. Generally, a big year about that one, my I will be a council, we are Ghana, and we are seeing here. Now, so no. The election no more, and then my caucus no the better on the crown. Yentimi constituencies do or still in Tokwa. A council between NPP, NDC, and the Electoral Commission. While the council you bet senior Nipako to Electoral Commission officer, I'm not declare results. I'm on one they can say and Koye. Because the name I constituency after the election, no, a BC that crowd here television, Muna, party back on the page, electoral presiding officer, so for so announce results. Me will be crowd a free 1992. Yeah, Koye in the share near Bombay. And I say post election violence. Now there was a non-TAB and state institutions. We say we have about twice. Now, but see at your Mabama, Metro Mass, Yamako Ghana Gas, near Cotton Port, say about the J-Port, and she said, here, there, as a factor into your security considerations, the subsequent elections. Because I hear about the register.
Nana, what kind? Who say Bawumia, Udi kan babonting, BJ, Abanu to my woman boy. Sada no yadepa, many son, is an democracy no, name Krabata Bakuna say, what to Abanu Dinkuya? You accept defeat and abide by the rules of the game. Oh yadepa. Nemo Munkrofonso, if you as a Cassetian, is a Obantam Dodo, BJ Sasamono Tumo. Sasamono, what you want some then? And then people are about Abato, because you're depending on a Jutum, which is what leadership. Leadership. No. Nana, Ujina baby, na yantonka, yo, ndi. I'm saying from maybe boy, but your casa. I'm say, Yashiri Nana. Yansa kana yabasanga ba nana wo ho but ugina baby kakra am say o afri ni hihim kakra yo hello nana mpacho anka ugina baby kakra am say baby na wo kan no ugina ho a babu yo yan afri nato yabasang ambo modern ni yansa kan doctor I'm saying now, Casa, but out your wasams.
Oh, near Mekan said, some we sign and say, Sina Mrs. Chileno, or Quemis near Yard, but then be so to sing. Now, met yourself, baby, and Akomea. This scene say, or can we say a factor post-election violence? Post-election violence, you know, and yet first time I ever seen it. Into a chest say security agencies, you know, what you want plan ye. Say party Francasana, what I want to do for TS. Say MPP a luso crampa, and non just say to me if MPP for himself. Nya when we know be take over January. Our data will be take over. Na see and we luso crampa say interested to me if you want them. We luso crampa just say we NDC ninti to me ko baby a wo pe bia ko ye nia wo pe. Ko ka say wo mbra konta ma. Nti ese yesuesua we nim nyina. Nti young institutions, we talk about institutions. NCC ese o masanche chere no. Party fu na ese o masanche chere no. Na what you say? Accountability accountable hu hia pa obi anya ka accountable na course but no interest obi akeketimi sori ko kachi obi say obi mu akwenta ama no interest a enti no o kan about institutions say we nim na we suase na we say here the council police no to sin kakra speed over the year juma na sa post-election violence no e ya jinsem afi sanya o kan no other elections crampo na buy party in one youth wings near the first time they were more violent, but still na police to control supporters and uncrow. And even when party supporters, if people are crowdful, if they are crowdful, I won't be here. I will take advantage. But the security agencies know to me take this into account. I mean, harassment.
So, Ninti Amakasa say, you Delta Force. MPP J2 meno what kugu a judge be so court Nesania man. Inti Abanasa Eshe Mabuna would depart in Eshe won Kutupa, the Bibiano, Wabe if the one bang now Abba. Inti what in your one tree. We need a sardine edges answer me so now Yadian could be angry.
Son of Biagidi, Nemomuno, son was Usika and Wamremuno. Mere suspicion and ye enough. So to make proof. Anything I miss to say electoral commission at course no. As I said course no, what try we them 10 them. Now say what police read the 10 them. Now I a quick trial and whether we are party for and now we are and also when you party for and dead. Now delay in them we know na ba. Now say eba say you are ABC you and nipa can say me a party ni me kwama party no. And what them able to police cells. Na say party no boy no. And say you no quarry, say you no quarry. Say court no gum year, and I sign na to be tra. But say you no quarry, when you no quarry, say a party full, and your party full, and say to tra. Because I don't get democracy home. If you say the young man,
yo, my men call Hamano so namene Dr. Osan Kwapong, so we zoom no so na memisa. Yo, Doctor, mami misao. Sir, Okwan wo hɔ a yɛnhwɛ bibi to say vote buying krofo tie sika man krofo yɛtete sɛ dana wɔto aba no sika kyɛ adekyen kura yɛbɛkɔ akɔto em sɛ Dr. Osan Kwapong aba doctor mami misao CD mo yɛ nhwehwɛ mu bebree na de baako a na mu chi democracy chi ɛyɛ vote buying send a vote buying a course so na honiama uhu ne den so ka den kyerɛw
sa vote buying asemi since 2016 and 2020 one of the pre-election surveys CDD Ghana yehwehwe mu no ade baako a yehu ya na meta eboso tre political parties ne say yebusa asem say so biba normal obibi CJ na in exchange for that no to abamamia then na esa we wo ho na doctor obe believe say dodo na say je mum di meje but meto aba no so te say ne amepese meto aba ne pepepe me share sad no na misu political parties ese wo to me who say inducements de yes, at home raniade, but so decided so obey kai who say no matter what I would be voter no do na so why an adwene say obeto ama semesi and now obeto ama personnel or person bia. That is what they are going to do. I say 3-4 election cycles later, still our young political parties they want to engage in voter inducements, still believe that it can make a difference when voters have shown over and over again that JD will be but so what's better meaning say by election now where Asen North one Mr. Charles Opoku against Adna Papa be refinity no sitting MP who be ban same baby about citizenship niade. What to Sabani no Charles Opoku now we no make kai pass and a mission video be from the constituencies na nkrofubi to enyum ewo street so also nisikane yedi, right, as a way of saying whatever they are claiming say what the ma wo JD but what to abane to say near what to abane. I'm just hoping say with time political parties nankasa be who say inducements don't necessarily work even in one party prime minister yet it some around inducement of delegates. Sir John Awenya baby because he fear delegates. Until the minimum the country are still our parties ne feel say inducement can really change the outcome of an election. But beyond that, I feel say yes, you were around Sikasem in party, political parties as well as campaigns. Hina no be to me ama political party sika, hina no to me ma political party sika. Mrane say every year bia say wo to me church won sika same. Sika here war properties won sika fi things like that. There is a legal framework in place that addresses the role of money in the politics. But I think say it says Imrani yemiemu kakra. The most of Imrano deals with the party and not necessarily candidates and campaigns. I think says voter inducement, how we fund campaigns near dini bibia say yeshene loopholes, lapses bini adi wumno yeshene the Niameka can say I am not inducements although etumrano. How do you even charge Ubi and try and prosecute them around Bibisa? Because Sabi Oma Sikan Oma Bibisi Jenako to Abamamia Onyehu receipt. Entire not getting the evidence, so a little challenging. At the same time, I say to me proving motive. Say Abia 10 cities here made a mawi na mimi motive ne say or the back so now they are to Obama. It can be a little tricky. But overall, I put the responsibility back onto your friend young political parties to begin to recognize voter inducements more and more no Ghana for remind who say and shedan yeduma to say na yefo say yeduma fano.
Yakasa no chere one year research in nia ama won adi nkuku ne ho niama would wani filma den ne niama abien bi esen bi a ugye di se ema NPP akungani fi wonza.
One me jedi say economy economy ne ka ho. But I think say with economy you meaning say from time to time na abang treaty mo na work say Russia Ukraine ka ho COVID so ka ho. Yeah, me jet to say COVID they say enye Ghana nkwa a lot of economies around the world COVID ma won economy in same year basaka kra. But I think say there was a limit to that argument, no, so because COVID by no ye nyamwa kakra wohu intino se oka kudu baby a me no asema na de bia me bisa me hu ne say. But COVID needs to see, yes, we were left to our own devices. And more by Kakrasu to help us deal with the challenges of COVID. Economy, one part of the economy, so me feel said domestic debt exchange program. No, so Emma nipa di huyaw kakra in terms of the impact that it had on one not what they was Kashama share government, bonds near the to the before said no so come. The perceptions of corruption, Mijedi said no so come. On that note, I think say what Ndiam Buanana is not so much say there were perceptions of corruption, but I think say near what really hurt him more near the fact say na inkorfo feel say sebe onye ho hwe ana onye ho hwe with aggression. Nana ado President Nana ado asemba kwa debia noka mene ne ya adwen so ye no debia okasi say we allegation against Obia due process matters na. Not until you never appreciate the importance of due process, which is true. But perceptions of corruption also to me na due process and a law in to try and deal with. There is also the political dimension of fighting corruption. Which sometimes could simply mean say workers will be ayebibia otobo kakransa na one making any pronouncements as to whether assembly no query woman as assembly no query nim etodebia workers will be ayebibia to me even catch any panise asemesi wo se say na why you menkase a woman as a menkase nimu but se bebo a wo de tenanchen kakra yehwehwe mu wie ni yehu se wonye boni bia ya ma ban ye bese njiu na wa beye adwuma na wo ye nieme bisano manipe hu se oriye bibi afa corruption hu because nipa na ordinary call wo kase yen stick it with due process nipa na ordinary court every day or regularly yen in the public square internet it's difficult say what be ma credit for following due process around corruption issues versus Sanema Maka say Abia Waka Trubi son step aside and now Waka Trubi son funny resignation letter mra and now Waka say Asemia Beide one fishemu na wama yehu emu no kware no Sanema de nkrofu hu na emma won awehemu bi say oh yem president ide or ye bibi around corruption and no can who be na me feel say a man of fulfill say oh bia na government won enim rewo corruption asemi but I think say for me economy perceptions of corruption and how it was being handled or not voter apathy in so ka say o share votes MPP party ni nyai 2020 now the 2024 no one na say one ankese what to aba obefo so obeto aba ma MPP no dodo na ango to aba no into the no na say party no so bisa wo hu say denti na ye nkrofo ama meto aba te say na ye hwe nim say wo beto aba ma ye
party na you mijetum na party no akuti ababia enti se wulusu a and then I'll be blaming on apathy alone. If it's a greater Accra, apathy is a baby, a greater Accra. MPP, she said, now what to a betty MPP. Intermediate said there are more reasons. And through Mumisa, Galam say, Oshe, a to a baby, Anna. Galam say, Hunzam.
Galam say, no. Ebia, may sure the extent to which because share even how our two parties no framing galamsey issue no one party manifesto anymore. You didn't get the sense, at least from the party manifesto, say Obakun would go hard after galamsey compared to the other political party. But Okaya, just before, maybe a month or two before the election, protest around galamsey issues, how Ghana Fubini Phil said the way our police abang a treaty say in the beginning probably may have contributed, but share the scale of the defeat across all of the regions, whether in galamsey areas or not. Now utumun say it more than just galamsey accounted for what happened. Data from galamsey areas in the senior what to a fire. No, Bemaya make a determination the extent to which galamsey had. But share the way about to the choir, not just say across the board, it's more than just the issue of galamsey in Sumijidi.
Specific issues. Region be or galamsey koso be or and koso until obviously no who say regional galamsey koso or hono and also become but media was someone to say wouldn't blame it on only that in the others. Dr. Memo so mama call Dr. Christopher Ampedu ho no so maybe san kakran maba ho you. Dr. Ampedu bacho wo ha masamba ho bio.
That's it.
Doctor what do we need career then na ma MPP di nkuku.
Yo Doctor me that's we say the man obedi nkuku bebre no dey say mpanyfo akasa ho economy economy so a the sense so no say e dey ahokyere e dey ohia e dey abebrese e na ebre nipa nipa dignity na say ni yedi mu nyina say we free ho a e je say nipa ye no kra no e je say swat etini nipa azitwamu nye na nipa ohia bubro at the same time so I can say so what can say bia COVID-19 and now Ukraine Russia war yet you but share what ministers share tibia omugum akesisem share cars akesiye share send ebinim opposition omo ho a chesi card omo fa nye hwe ni se bebre no so ti ohia buburu mu a now how do you reconcile say Ukraine any COVID intia enti there's a lot of contradiction. Aaron is be a wo say one more appointees no more no more buying arrogance so ebi wo mu no na because there were some people were party no they became even more powerful than ministers. Chese uhwe some opposition omo ho ne se na omo kasa ne so omo ni ye it's as if say we ase no aye omo dia now we no because of party amoye yenti no oh yeah nipa no say they take note nipa take note of everything now say only party for no din komo a bebre beka achel say the arrogance na ebi wo mu yemfa timamofo bebre enye hwe eka ho papa dog she say ye kasi voter apathy ekoba ne say ena wawo achidifo na so elections be do so yes ye ntuaba why because party mu ankasa no eniema bebre wo mu a kyese entumi emwase nipa ni je say yakwato abanpo amawo. And don't forget, the more our opponent bet me abuama nipa ankwato abano. I don't want so HS worry because I don't see a political strategy. The ebe bia onkofo a wo no omuntu abama. So me feel say enye ade say MPP 40 major I can say oh ye onkofo angoto aba. How come eba ne sen na wo onkofo achidifo about so how critical it is. More the boy being breaking the eight. Now a don't do so. Yes, abanian. You don't just say you want to, but there are problems. And that problems, should not be taken for granted. Again, say be a major on free HSS. Oh, say they were thinking, say, with that alone, we shared 5.4 million people are you don't go to school because of free chess. Now I'm hoping so I don't quampo. Bet me, I'm enough votes. Ghana forces say you're very smart. Now we are abamuno. As I say, we because the Ghana a Japanese yana shall say fa pray ye dim. Na no any trump card. I bet my cast nunti ye nto abama emra ye nim dream kan proye pa ekoso hwe se party mu see that about 80 MPs are turning out protesting say sister finance minister sister no see that see party nankasa MPs say o mankasa nipa president Sam eti nipa no nipa eti o president fiwo wa former hwe enye no nkwa because of that position take years no. Look at how people were mobilized to unseat these MPs I'm sorry make it that request. Many of them lost their seats because of side demands now of making and if you who's so well you say we more the way to me alpha petty you free because of hard because they were saying so baby near my Korean ya oh man say obi cannot cry and penasem obi cannot cry say Sadi mummy ni yin free wo de tutu ni mai dabi yin free ho enti over time when you lose some votes abi o seats now sir baby o lose seats so kokokwe almost all of them also lost MPP lost all almost en kasi yam na twa muka and dog wow na bi o hwa ya see ye tibi kwa you say nipa way if nipa gina okwano na or the pepper ye na okano kra aya mumma ye nwisi your power tumi bi o power nkasa tumi ni fi nyame ho na eba o na nyame ho a tumi firi eba no se unkra no kra ne pepper ya at the end of it, abekuntia wo power munti obedwe so ye powerful.
Kuma mimi so na nkrofo kese campaign no so awoye no baby wo ho amra won bra nipa twen se ana won ani da so wo ba be kire won nsem mu no na campaign wo dey attack won opponent na wo krampo wu se wo anye se wo mua no ene ho niam ene fei uko social media na wo campaign papa ni hu ne asaw dwom ene woda one party agira ahede di t-shirt no no wo hye sa eno so sa ne uje di se eno so kan bi ha won ana
I can't paradox because MPP is so confident. Say, one more abamu, one more sika, one more the chiche. What t-shirt I hold doing, oh, my winning. They were overconfident. Yes, a woman said about me message. But share one son of near, which you say they were overconfident. Meanwhile, Omunim send Akomea Kai, Omunim said he may be a putty hour. Until him in Nimbabia, so overconfidence, no cry if free. Doc, again, I'm a teacher of sociology of religion. And as far as some of us are concerned, religion matters. Religion matters a lot. I asked me be bring to be in count. You feel so and far home and back home. No, we are not talking about discrimination. Yeah, but what I'm saying is religion matters in every area of life. Religion matters because it has to do with NIPA belief systems, which shapes their everything, their perception, their even their environment, their political choices, and everything. They took it for granted, say Ghana being a dominantly Christian nation, religion doesn't matter. And I think one of the reasons to say Christopher also may not, I'm not sure because may hear any research on it, may not have even gone to vote. Because religion matters in every area of our life also.
Question back when all morning. It's an say, so we should send a banatona north. What to a banatu na tia Bawumia, uko other places as Zungo Suning, Gramufunia now. Nemo me did say, any religion was way, and not the one shakura was share near Ebuya Wonga Brabo, was share near Bua Ghana. Send economy no money animal. Religion and the media say, a memukura.
Well, sir, but again, until say, enough for some okay, they serve on this way. And now, there should be a thorough research concerning Mientia.
Indianka wonga bani nyina no wode bema Bawumia. But what we say,
Debbie.
When you need now, abana what to
Doc, may say religion matters doesn't mean say religion matters doesn't mean say people vote strictly on religious ground
and play role. A new role of politics we ye kete say jueni kete which literature on voter choices are sanetening religion day because no now the can and then also you're tied to ethnicity. Ethnic groups. So what council there? Nature say what to about men ha Bibia no what dominant ethnic group no or non so obedi. But me person will be as a religion one man na fe yet to anko so. Mura.
Well, I may say you may not agree, but I may say until say we do a thorough research on that, you ain't even conclude. You say religion matters, doesn't matter. Again, we can't also say ethnicity doesn't play a role in religion. I'm a social scientist. I know some of these things they be to be but inwardly, these things are there.
So Fourth Republic, young Rollins or Ibeni, on yet I your friend then the dominant group on a account, and so Eddie, young John Mahama. Onufi minority groups gonja wedi into other factors network ban than ethnicity. I want to hear.
Doc, I haven't said we tell me clearly. I mean, can't say a predominantly ethnicity or religion. See, they play a role. Until we can't say there are some elements of ethnicity or even religion in the consideration of will be votes. You can't say not only the dominant decision based on, but it matters being said, at least they have some sort of influence. One thing that say Christopher be a Kasawa. One thing simple, the vice candidate for this talk about religion. Now, these things are not mentioned just in passing. They have a role. I'm not saying they are the dominant role for decision making as far as voting is concerned. But then we cannot also take it out, say it doesn't matter at all. No. One can say ethnic. Me wo Adam Phobi, where Beni, where MPP ni. Only more say the uncrow for catches one typical Albany, where Albany pa NDC ni. Now these are the friends I catch them. Do you say that ethnicity doesn't play a role in our politics as far as Africa is concerned? It may not be the dominant role, but these things, we cannot say any hokra, even though people feel shy to talk about it. But then, as a nation, to me, this year, because the Ghanaian identity, it play a very dominant role. But at the same time, to me, we can't pretend say ethnicity, say you can't NDC. To me, I'm pointing to dominant tribes. Say this at the same time, you can't MPP. To me, dominant tribes one more and play a very important role in these political parties. But then, you can say no, be decided on, because even though these things are there, sometimes as nation builders, we pretend it's not there until say the BBC na fe ede basabasa ibi abasanka all to quite war Africa almost all were played using tribal politics. And me can say Ghana any hold any cry. But sometimes you say I don't play a dominant role. Yes, but it's there. Now, no, you say, I will book a crack. You better than a year for just say, yes, I think I study my way, and we and came as Ghanaians. And says a walk on near ma, etwima, ebia, MPP, Eluzuye. And I say, this these are things which are there. I am a religious person. Me bompa say ready na open on ye ready. And at the same time, see that say problem.
Menko oba obi foforo so. Yo. Mbacha omiti yo.
Dog.
Yo mbacha tu awasa.
Eti emisi kakra me what can say as I said, yes, the totality, the holistic problems now. It will ma MPP Eluzuye. But at the same time, I think say NDC I see a congratulatory one because they really worked hard. They were so focused and they were able to move one more members to go and vote and put them where they are. And I think they need to be congratulated.
I'm saying, why Ubia sorry, we did the award Juma, maybe so. Polls, forecast, prophecies. A year Juma. Some crofus say, Unyamia Yachero. And into Uibedi, Uhuni a course. Brimun so quiet polls. Was we were dear ye. Brimo Hons war here when you're able to your forecast be what the other abundant. Sani am bonnet tow by 2 minutes be mammy. Natural massy. Wanga unyame no one casa. Wonga to one assume any so. Woman unyame one casa dana da. So Santa no kind. A year wada.
Look, they are very important because no actually some research at the pay. But the bit because it's a American a maswa ebia mumekumi in social science, it's not like the physical sciences. Nipa, we are dealing with human beings. Nipa to me, such even within a twinkle of an eye. It won't be in far research cases by all means, how can it must come true. Now, concerning prophecies, me as a teacher of pastors and leaders across the nations, me prophecies are the politics, for me, I'm very disappointed. Because here we are. Prophets, I read more Bible, you prophets are one more can't Bonnie dream can't near my bonnie a course on. No, and now I will home. I now all my cats, Nipan such a margin. Nipan such a from bonnie. I had the prophets, one who bonnie elections a bar. And why the baby, just because of kakra obedience. Prophecy is concerning elections for men. It's not here or there. It's just for their selfish and greedy, egoistic sentiments. Nyame kasa, yes, but nyame kasa mpa. Was senya. No. Why they can say apart from these prophets, almost yes nyame chiro. The other men of God, the nyame no mon kasa. Then prophet I can say well. Other churches, no woman, Emma, woman, Emfa, Nunya, woman projector, woman, baby, a domitation, and take a man, Mokasa. The prophet be or the election prophet. Ye who bonnet, ye who dream kind, ye who nipa do or say ye, ne, ba. Or mine, election results of God of the prophesied. For me, very disappointing as far as these kind of prophets are concerned.
No be who knock from so na won. Me masum, me who meneso. Na obi hu nani so, not na asum. No de only Onyankopon kasa, not na asem betre abonten a efa battle ho a. Wo ha we den.
But
yes, doctor. Dr. Ansakwe mpache ofeyi fa fam wo reaction me hu say nsem wo wanu a wo pese wo kan wo kan wi a na fe ye nto yaso
but nyawo bi sai say nyawo kan say wo hu ani so wo nte wasum pre na say obi di osi ohun a ohun ani so otina asum a me how ne say no how am me pese me ya no
you ya no me wura ya no
me how ne say wo hu ani so na to wasum na wo de hye wutim na wo de bu bra wa brabo how be any hu na mo so be ka kire me say Nyankopon say asimasi na obe president wo ma me yusu madwene wo ma me ndwen wo ma me nto abasani a me hu na nko vote man ya me pe what is that me
so nche we
better na da democracy no chere say nipa nkoto won aba democracy no also chere say aba no won to no by heart say wo dwene me bi hu ansa na wato aba ba kwene say nia obebua wa brabo ba kwene say nia oye ma oman no so democracy na chere wo de wa dwene wo yidi wo go yidi wo busuan yidi wo man yidi eno na wo hwe na wo de ye na sa wo soro be ka say Nyankopon say asemesi na meyi no ondi Ghana so a eso wo de nyame abem me hena na makodwen me hena na makoto ama obi foforo nti ye na da wa be dada no wa mama anye se me ye no me dadwen a anka bia meto aba papa but wo de nyame din abe dada me na say hwe won yi the pass aba na em say journalists sabio munyi na mu ye journalists mu wo bribi ye anka se wa elections ye wie me John Campbell say fiase won a wa kan say Bawumia bedi nkunim ebi kwa ma percentage na won di ni nyina sanka da kromo frɛ won na fe wo be kire wo be ka ansa wo di adwin di agro wo hu wo ma ye ndwen sa wo jame na me amede ma adwin koto aba na anka ye na mo be ka kyerem se Nyankopon se wo di din kese aba me so be ka me bi a kyerem wa dada me kwa wo hu
na ne okan no so abam nso ya o eno so ye
one da bam no de wo ho bedi na ebinim de ambam kura ebi no di ambe mu kura se mo boaboa wan ano na wonyi na mo bi san wan asem den na buy ese na fe nso so no won an wande ne ba mu kura mpo no ense se eja won kwa
ade ntia waka abem
menchiro ne ntia ba ko me modin legal implications
modin
ba ko kire se on oshasi ono na oye adwuma sunsun na sebe MPP for ba power na so ba power no nyema bi tos kosu a anye no fe efediosi nyanya asesa no nyanya ye ni sasa ne pakro ye sa no o kan se we mahama na ko pon asa amaka no o me di president bi oda wo menyemu na BBC nyema bi see na sab ni pakro na MPP for no wo hwe police ni nya asem kakra na o skan kwasa na dwen afede we yo so ma power bi o no afede also no reba power abemu no kware Sadi, what is because say obi otencha be dream say bibia fi Nyankopon or be dream say onu na osi ohene wa Ghana. And so democracy just say nipa a man for sovereignty ya na yesi ohene ya na ye ya ban no. And so just say onu true on Nyankopon linkage nti na we ni nyina ba ni nyina emwa. Nti ye nyin no say we ni nyina no ye hwe ni yiye. No obetire mu yiye ayesa nada
dok ma mimisa Christopher so baka kire wo se onyame na osi hene sa asam no nso ye wo de to ne wo kan hu ye
emwe bra kra ha metro bibi Nyankopon po bu amanfo well so we can Bible ni yiye a Christopher gina so na wo be kan baby say Nyankopon si Israel first wapo hene o ka kire won so hene ye ohene be say obey say na so mo po hini nti no oyi obi ma won so onye ohene ka che won so ohene bo beje won yire obey this obey that o kan ni nyina nso o ma won ohene because I na wo hwehwe sana democracy ka ni amanfo hwehwe na won ye na dachi bi ye bo hu akunta fine enti no wo ba na obe ka se Nyankopon si na wo be yesa kata wani ni hu say yes na anya sana wo bu man e mo man ni Christopher de sia bompa mo obi ayehwe a ode nyame suro na nyame su bebu o man no na wo be ka se mi odeyifo mi na mi hu mi na mete enti mi na wo fama se mi adwuma emwa wo bu ye nyina se mo fra wo man ye ni
na dok wo kan sa nso ya polls nso ya nkrofo ye se oyedi onua no wadi
be wi akire na so polls de ha kra America ha kra because polls de nipa no mfa Nyankopon di ma hwe ni we no hu hia pa polls de nipa no se mi sua hu mi de imagine sua de I say loto ma sua de hu ya intino asemasi na obidi America so kan was a very close edu so no enye close bia
na no so enye nada
and enye nada wa kire next time bi no wa be correct ehun say na de sua to sin America was a very close enye close bia Ghana was very close, too close to call. And then before worker and you close bia edemu fine. Enti one what the post no one kasa Nyankopon eka what the 100 na ye. Enti obi won say we ni wenti na me to sing. So we America brofo na se sia worker post no. Se sia one fa post before elections too serious. So you can sometime be na offer no very serious ni exit polls. Ni panako vote awie no. Won say hold nipa na be kan no carry na suppose no say woni ma won fa no serious bill and they just an idea who America Ghana nyina nya post no kind no enya no na be mu kire say nipa ye complex nipa ye hu ya we kakra and say careful na nya ha me fa asofo hu no say Nyankopon din a we de kasa no how na emma enum build the democracy papa emma manfo na kasa nkotana sen dwen na won ye ne say wo ye won hwehwe mu won dwen wan asetena mu won dwen won man won dwen wan abusua won dwen won man na won fa wan dwen hu se asemesia na obenten na ofata mo man no na obi ba ya maso da Nyankopon sisi na wa ye na so no na oman no na oyi oman leader man and we no there be
ba mi misa won a okay say sa memu a wonye wonse no so ye
obi kan say nyewa keni sa memu bio a obekwa ko som ne bosom obi kan sa memu biwa won shina sorry dan
ebi nkras wo be fi o menim
ebi so we so to be ko and say nim na ma kwan na ne o se ambema won shina sorry dan o ko shina sorry dan so police betel asan we hu enti se ni na che se e ma ma no ba fam e ma yen ma yen democracy no yin e ma yakasa so yin enti se ye won yiye won ga wakan ambema ni na se ye line won nyina up na ye bisa wan asem wo ma kire ni enti a ambem
na won so ya ebe mu nso ya
won so ebe mu nso no ase ehwe won yiye ebi na yo se ono de nya obeka bia no kware bia obribi keke no kan ase ehwe ni yiye anya sa yin ni se mo frada
so
I say abofra kaja abofra se katawani bompai na wa ma no tofe yakpo ti ompai bo next time bi no why say enti yakpo ti ompai bo enye mo ma abofra no ni
Doc, my minister, my question back when it was asked me to never yet so ye hear Unyankopon war or do memu wana
or do memu and every Bible mu crampo no ye hear Yankopon say ye no fi ho or do memu no some nya wo pese wo som ye free liberty enti ye pese Yankopon be ma ye private life on bremu ye on man life nso Yankopon bremu young private life Yankopon brem young ways on brem nti ye hia ni nhira ye hia ni bribia e no so na de ye na mom ododo amemu no nia ye kan say majority and na one and one adwen so no they must have their say but the will of the majority is what must prevail nti ye hia no nka obi anka say ye hia no na mom no nse say okachira manfo say what can be a one far because what the when Yankopon chiame and then ha me kakra
yo doc ma yenhwe videos no kakra yo prophecies no money saniman ya pase yehwe kakra enti pancho mu mfangu so ne yenhwe
ana ya dia wo hwe social media la and you know in Africa. Prophecy we say they say ye nyina mo hwehwe mu yiye ya election na wie na won a wodi atro no wo ma we ya no.
You were waiting for this prophecy, so listen to it carefully. And the Lord said to me, after I prayed and I looked, you see, it was a cover given to me of all the qualities of Muhammad that would change Ghana. I said, if this is the quality of this man, and you are saying these are the right ones, can it not get a second chance for this man? And God said, I'm going to give you 2 names of people you already have access to. 2 names. When I say access to, it doesn't mean say I spoke to these people, I was speaking to these people. No, I wasn't. But I knew how to get a hold of them. Said you speak to Archbishop, and then you speak to a prophet Owusubemba. He said these are the authorities I put in the land of Ghana. Now watch this. He said you put the matter before them of this 10-day timeline.
Openi na koma papenti onyame asado omai ahyemi sabi bibia ntimi sia no kwa amen.
Thank you very much. Shall we all resume our seats?
Yebesi anyasi awie NDC win election na yebesi anyasi enkofo no be yo mo me o challenge me onyame akwa o challenge me awurade a o ma nye kra meje anyamedwuma o mo ma power o mo power mo hwe election we on be lusu.
After your prophecy, everybody is aggressive. Bishops are praying and prophesying. Pastors are prophesying. What is Papa saying? Has the verdict changed? Watch this. I stand here to let you know that what the Lord told me during Signs and Tokens Conference, which was reaffirmed when we were having the all night, the Lord told me is the final verdict of the election. Nothing has changed. And by the 9th of December, we shall know the men from the boys, the prophets from the people.
I'm telling you, sir, you have entered into God's prophetic time. Can I prophesy? Who said, you decorate you will be with all the stars with Ghana flag. And I'm going to tell you, now you should Jimmy Bahon, JDM or JDM, Mamma, the Ghana designer. JDM, and I'm maddened to my SFM OTTs. And I'm saying, what is the name? I'm saying, watch the time. We share time now a year 2025. Yeah, 2025. Oh, Mama, be your popular wagon, her maddened to my best SFM. I'm an ananteso. Yeah, a good baby, I didn't my Ghana for a betting him maybe at 2. But would you to my man to my son? I'm saying, Mom, former president, Mama, we are praying for that man. So may God restore the man emotionally. Now listen, some more fee and I'm 31st, we can send me for Mama. 31st. Because 2024. More guy. Me will say Ghana man and to my FM and what TTS. No, 4 man. Everybody was following the man. 2024. But of way to frustrate you, Jojo 2016 Jojo 2020 and metaphor. So who couldn't say papa and how it is. I might talk to the rare people. Now Paja won't send it from Kosovo. Let's pray for the man and his family. Baby, I'm going to be a Israel young couple. Israel young couple.
Papa, what do you go see? Sani, don't swan.
Avec Mama,
Abasayako. Tayadi, Salo. Ono, just swan. What do you go see? Abasayako.
Some of what can't you me so? A peja, Mahaman and family Bawanim. I would or Danina Yamudia Ghana Konyachen. He is part of Ghana history. In terms like this, Bible said, Nanu Yesu called Gastamani. Was here just a bit to me. Makruai, 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 Makruai. Everybody Jesus. Say, Papa, no, that we will fear it. Say, you couldn't know the other damn password. I can't say no. Keep who said any home also. Everybody, who me gunimo? Man, I need that so. Who me gunimo? Who me gunimo? Who me gunimo? Who me gunimo? Who me gunimo?
During his tenure, within 2 years, something happened. A little shake up. They don't approve it. Tramping for and say, Master, what's your now? You want to slow certain things down now. Pressure no will come to you.
So for Jina ho, obey president. The enemy announced the
No. 2024. 2024. By this thing 9 p.m. and Ajuna. Or no, Obia, I won't say, what the president is.
I thought I was done with this of the coming election contest. But guess what? Yesterday, I was carried again into the spirit with a clear, vivid vision. Amazingly, ex-president John Mahama, he was crying in the vision. He was crying. Share this video. It will be shared to a huge classroom, like a very big classroom. make sure you share this video. Seated on one of the chairs in the classroom, you know, like the decks, I would say, you know, like a student desk facing the blackboard or the board or the lecture board. And then I saw Hassan Ayariga, I saw the other, and I was carried to a helos, and I said, Asa, why are you crying? He didn't mind me, but I could hear him speaking, though he was not speaking with his mouth. I could hear him speaking in the spirit. Ghanaians would do this to me, and he was crying. He was crying. I didn't know Ghanaians would do this to me, and he was crying. It was like a waiting room. So the lecture hall was like a waiting room where all the presidential aspirants were inside, seated waiting. And the lecture board, the blackboard or the white marker board, was like a screen in the spirit. So the news was stripping in that, you know, they are voted here, and these are the figures they are voted here. These are the figures they are voted here. These are the figures. Since morning, it was coming in. And the vote were massive. The vote, hear him speaking, though he was not speaking with us. And he was saying, I didn't know Ghanaians would do this to me. I didn't know. And as he was weeping, then I saw Hassan Ayariga came to tap him and say, oh, sir, don't cry. It's your time. Congratulations. And he was still weeping on the chair, you know, and Hassan came to tap him and say, oh, bro, I didn't know Ghanaians would do this to me. And he was crying. Like more, vigorous. He came and then he also came to congratulate him and tapped his back. Oh, like anybody who comes will just tap him and say, oh, you have done well, a good, or the white marker board that you are going to come after, you know, was stripping in that these are the figures they are voting here. These are the figures. And it was coming in, and the margin were
not do anything, double confirmation. And as I stand here, I have received double confirmation. Now let me tell you what will happen after 7 December. Let me tell you. I saw a vision which today God confirmed to me double. And in the vision I saw Ghanaians have gone into election. And when we went for the election, Ghanaians began to vote. And everyone exercised their franchise, and they voted for whoever they wanted to vote for. And they voted. But by the time the election was done and it was counted, they announced His Excellency John Dramani Mahama as the winner of the election. Listen to me. I did not say God said I choose. I saw majority of Ghanaians who can vote. You don't have vote, you are still talking. Who can vote? Voted for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
After your prophecy, everybody is aggressive. Bishops are praying and prophesying. Pastors are prophesying. What is Papa saying? Has the verdict changed? Watch this. I stand here to let you know that what the Lord told me during Signs and Tokens conference, which was reaffirmed when we were having the all night, the Lord told me is the final verdict of the election. Nothing has changed. And by the 9th of December, we shall know the men from the boys, the prophets from the people. I start to reaffirm here.
Sir, yet to adwumadi so na nka mehwe sɛ technical team boma man prophecies ni bi nso ya wo kan sɛ Bawumia be winning. Boni enko.
And not just that, I stood on this altar years before, when my son was not the general secretary, and I said MPP was going to lose so much in Parliament. Same God that told me this time around MPP will have a commanding control in the Parliament, a very decisive win in Parliament. Even up until July, swearing signs and tokens. After I prophesied that Dr. Bawumia will win the election, my son, the general secretary, came and said, Papa, are you sure of what you are saying? You want to tell them what the banter you had with me? He said, Papa, I've seen you do some crazy things, but this one is too crazy. Please. You just, if it is because of me, let me do my work so that if I fail alone. I don't want to go with you. So that when I fail, I'll be there to, to protect you. I said, you cannot protect me. Dr. Paul, come forward. Come. You've come home. Why are you standing outside? Come. Put your hands together for the executive director of the National Cathedral. And the lies. What is this thing about?
Yo, say. Young who senia prophecies in a quay. Doc, Bibica crowd about na yantiaso.
Oh, Namia can say, Yamisumi, no one said, Missum Yami. Christosumi, no one said, Missum you Christoni. No moment, as they will say, Yamisono, a private life. Private, a young private life. Na I said, Yamisom, I did the young Subang and a yen and a yen Jimem. Na mo ni ha me say obibi abeka kire me say Nyankopon say yes say Nyankopon say ye this na o mam ni ame fa manjire ye ni ame pese me ye na yakoso Ghana pa elections bia adimeje bia 31st December bia bibia reba obia retie ni asofo beka na enye nyina na waka no kware in fact bibre one ma wa enye we ni pod ni waka no pi bemu na bi won ma won so waka very different thing efa we ho e dey immediate nti ehem ye hwe mi in American nti no ye hwe ne ye mom na ye encourage amanfo na wonyi wonyamesom na won a won ma won pai na won fa won andwene ye adwuma obi nka so obi nkosha asofo so na mom no maye trans na won kire ye ne ayen ye in terms of NCC Center for Civic Education I say what mama fun say democracy adu akone say obama obi America fa ka say Trump say Christian community is very powerful. Help Palma Unyan. But then, and ya dear, like I said, I mean, what one pie, what one sorry, what Phyllis on no ye ma one to a bamano. Now, yes, and so I know some my year. Yamu can.
Yo, Mama Menko, Zoom, so na many Dr. Sanquapong, Mencono. Doctor, who was na?
Pacho you. You, Pacho me.
Watch your videos, prophecies, polls, and a forecast. Uncommon
Prophecies need today be na me share a sofuni be and the certainty with which they say unyamia ya chireme ana unyamia ka chireme se ne besia aya na me bisa me hu se inti se amemu saa na ochra ase den wen hu niye ana wanti niye asem kona na Unyankopon pese o kachewo ana wa na ubu utrim ka asem che wa sorema na odi show Unyankopon na na share the way sometimes in so segments of the share the way I mean so your sofo na wa sorema je udia na asema wo bekan etutrima na wo bedi so wo be ne awore ka so Unyankopon ye achiro ebi so ane ni musa me feel say so Unyankopon yi chiro say asema esi no bedi nkunim bohumpai na fashe utrim but the late JSBT one of Africa leading theologians no can say most of the African is notoriously religious Into I edu abato bresonami musa prophecies na me say you JSMBT kayampa. But more and more no leave it up to the people. Mawankasa one way all the different factors. Na won ko to aba. So feel so nyankopon eyi achrewo. Feel so nyankopon aka achrewa. Menka wutrim bo humpai because samema I think say Emman Kofo started feeling say beta pracho yang asofu ni bi wa won kano kware enche won asore ma ni ade sanso anama matters of faith abeye NDC MPP assembly no and also we say Mahama be we no so we say Bawumia be we ne o hwe nkomoni bia ye di echi na nsema ya na nipa bi kafa asofwe hu in the midst of the campaign na fatakra ntimi mum de me feel say these are very private matters that also nyankopon eyi achrewa bohumpa na yehudin polls de yenum nyina ya ye pre-election service ni polls wedma most of the time no just to get a sense of in some you know, what are they thinking about key issues near day, and then ubisa wong say untianka bay yeto nene anoch na hina na obetuama. Most of the time, no, in where what be no wo assumption they say wareka emuno kwari achro. Entino we research na manesa most of at least no one made the one pose a chini idea obroni be say wo show one methodology which is okwanga wo fa asuntia workers abato na bekose anase bekose me no one na mehwe won dwumedi so obia obeye pola on fani din entachi na oma wu ne methodology na okwanga ofa so intia oreka say obi benya 52 no obi benya 48 no me samples no me fan ejuma. The other thing is to say most of the time ye post na language anakasa ye de share nema ye hu say we use the word likely outcome because unim say you can't say with any amount of certainty say pepe nebisi. However, unchichi muni say unim Ghana for 18 million me pe mu using okwang or machreme say ubetimi apel mu eji a certain number no we bisa wons about we ebekodeng na ubisa won na worker uso 2400 2500 be at 3000 fusiu sena wobeko na wo no your only conclusion say likely outcome says NABC some ends amanesa na no ntrese polls no ebia poster no endinu emuno kware and show ebia ni assumptions or the poll no send you bisa any questions ni ade all leads to answers will be massement metro or daily graphic efa polls and the role of polls in elections and how me feel say Ghana for will be a poller and try to make sense of it. And then I mean obi to say professor smart sapon say or no say me need to mediate papa 2016 2020 near about polls ebemu 2024 ne second one last one no amemusa na nunti interest onyubia credible debbie it just means say second one no whatever assumptions models are all used amemusa and you just learn the lessons near there but polling it meaning say particularly since UK photos around Brexit polls show one thing na fair outcome show one thing na US 2016 elections polls do show say Hillary Clinton be winning meaning say since then amount for GD wo polls akoform but me the American say obi a poll not ordinary ding better no what show the methodology for me and those are the important things. To be a polls nibo who polling reports na methods and so say my pool no yibenya so yibenya say me no me mfa nya adwuma
waka Christopher den edwe bia na torabem ne ho ne ma sebsebe post no so aya true mana
say attribute me abemu in terms of the way o select obi near friend sample right into the funny say ebia o pese ubisa nipa be 3,000 say abe wo beto ne day say onye ethical researcher ubetumi akọ particular place bia unim say ubetumi enya particular answers na why no aba no abeka so ni amemi hrese NDC be weni ana hrese MPP be weni intina de bia make say so be kase why pool no kase candidate A benya this percentage na candidate B benya this percentage na ne oye ya ne say ebia or just interview ana or post on social media now one a detailed polling reporter me polls and pre-election surveys no me find I outrightly dismiss it because maybe some who say then you cannot share your methodology with the public. And today being so obi betimi share any methodology. O say had yet to sing o sampling approach de I miss 1 or 2 steps, but at least to make sure they can say, oh, this is why entire all results is showing this. Then you can have conversations around improvement in methodology. But me sure say ebi a wobo wuntrim and now they because so we a researcher. Me sure say doc when him say we a researcher. There are ways if you are not an ethical researcher, I'll be to me manipulate data and research nearly.
Doc, my question is to na me wako be for yes so sa na me push no mo prophecies no kenyan yen wa batu man it influence yen ana ama yen adwene sesa na ama yen to aba wo okwan besu ana
ebe to me intino fani say bia poll bia ba esi party A be win ebe to me 2 things. One I will person what to my party Beka say see ebe win there make sure say make to abe. It can produce the opposite effect where obi to me aka say na say me party enya win ewie dia aden kra na say me how me hu koto aba. On the other hand so no so because who party be lose in the poll obi to me aka say say me party be lose dia and say me kenya me hu na me make sure say be better na Lucy. And it can have different kinds of effects. Share prophecies near Denswa, especially the way a binum to meet asofudino, not just near osofuno bekano can influence the person one way or the other. But at the end of the day, President Akufo-Addo no can say the most accurate and best poll is what happens on election day. Intermediary say even with all of the polls, prophecies near Deno, ultimately, Ghana for I believe can make their way through all of it and still decide say na me pete me to abano regardless of what prophecies and polls are saying.
Doc, men koma me beto ya so Mahama waba wa promise niam bebre so obetuma
I was say otumi ye mududo na fa owo ne mresa owo 4 years ye na yinim say trying to make sure say you can fulfill all your campaign promises ni na takes time but what shebo bebre I just hope say the key promises or the key boshana why no dodo na de obetumi abaso but obetumi ediso there are a number of realities and so that confronts his administration to say levy even both candidates focus will be here way or share young budget and the projections are budget in a year over the next 3 fiscal years are any sika na ye hope say ye benye fi levy mu uyi fi wa then so be sound who say sika no revenue no remma ehefa na ebefia bani ade intino challenges lay ahead but me sure so man paying John Mahama na ono nim what he faces, the challenges ahead in ade but I just hope say Boshe ni bebre wo ho a obetumi edi so, and I also hope say on san dang nano around some of the Boshe no because Osha wo friend then Osha na Kufuado abang na Osha Dr. Bawumia and Sembia wakafa who during the campaign. Some of it had to do with more campaign or more car say so more bar bang no more yes and this election I may who say Ghana for impesa either say will be the Boshe so anani won't mean and nang one which I hope say dodo na de obetumi edisa Boshe so
when na would any a career and many would get this so di be anything
mpacho mi sebio
na me rekere say ne when na esane say modem ye nhwehwe mu da would wani akari adi achi say animanimu ya wugye di say eyi de wa ahye sa abon na mum so di be anything wo ba ku bi ana ebien bi
review of free SHS no minim say there is currently a free SHS bill before cabinet minim say ebeba out for the 8th parliament to deal with it and sana the life of the 8th parliament is over. Whatever is in that bill now, what person what is share, put it into law. No? It will be very interesting to see provisions of that law and how the incoming government, one normal promises will be review program, how they will review it because once a public policy, what we say, Crawford Jetum, not they start enjoying the benefits of it, taking it away. Can be very difficult. You have to so we are careful how you reshape it and reprogram it. I think say will be a little challenging in terms of the funding of the program, but also meaning say one of the things Mr. Seydou Kechakan is will be double track nimu. But schools now need the requisite infrastructure not to accommodate the growing population and so no how quickly na ubetimi infrastructure no na was enter double track name to make sure say they are all in sync. I think say be no be a little challenging, but near to say e-levy, COVID levy day. I mean I know they with their majority in parliament, they sure say one first budget so they can easily outlaw it. Again, if you are the issue always becomes the lost revenue.
Ya ba ko amere san nso ya bisa na say you nia working say wo be say na bi wo ha wugye di say wontumi ne te say ne wa kire wagem so obenya challenge wo ho wugye di say sika wodi bu oman no wobetumenya dia izadi
A better than kakra in the sense of say share this year mid-year review budget now and the projections over the next 3 fiscal years 2025 2026 2027 now still the budget is in the red. Not just say sika yebenya ni sika yepese yedi yeniyamano. There's a difference, right? It to sing kakra. We are looking at some major budget deficits. On top of that, there are promises to to repeal e-levy, COVID-19 levy. Ntianono also takes away some of the revenue. Yeah, and an IMF programmer. Nancy Yang ability to go to the international bond market to borrow, and also the restrictions were on here. promises some tax incentives, tax cuts in terms of the winning party. Sikasem the incoming government would have to be very creative around for me, setting one priorities. When we are to make us say, okay, look, this is the reality of Yang Sikasem. ABI ye 20. Yen prioritize 5, 6 in year 1. Yen prioritize another 5 year 2 near the Bibi to say no fee paying for incoming first year students. And who say, well, will be someone who say from where all of that revenue will come from, given young reality we face, it will be challenging, but some way, somehow, an incoming government, so share bono into so share budgets and see where you can get that money from. Now, and Niameka Kaunos, and also at the back we don't do well by young campaigns. Whenever there are campaign promises, at the back the one who said to assess the cost of some of these campaign promises. America high way young parties maybe may eliminate tax and I may tax cuts near there. Party now already propose tax cut immediately. Becca say this is the impact it would have on the budget. We will save this much. Sasike Dudo na ebe bank of Ukutukum. The opposing party Becca say, hey, our tax cut it will benefit the rich. It will do this to the budget deficit. It will do one. We have those conversations. May Kai say was starting both parties cuts will be levy. Now NDC cuts will be COVID-19 levy. Metro. Asem far in daily graphic. Now, my friend, the cost of campaign promises. I hope say the more yet to abania and the more campaigns issue manifestos and promises. They will start attaching a cost to it to say unim. Bosha yashimi ebe here sikadodo say nasa sikano yebet me nyefi X, Y, and Z. Minyesho say nkofo kaya, but 2012 President Nanado started free SHS as any or speech be at least okaso semi free SHS nani padodo say ni at the start here young oil revenue and I say and you move even 1 to 2% per it won't be sir, but it's not a regular feature of young campaigns, but I say yes that because near Ghana phone person will betting say wash your one nafe wabana usu sikan niwa media disable because obi may say what can be bisa maybe sounds na unim say unim say sikani ni ho e na wo share sabon
tum na mema etiefo ni ahwefo asonte say wo rehwade wo Facebook a ubenya wo Angel TV News na open radio nso ya ubenya Angel 102.9 ye wo ho papa fe WhatsApp information a ubetumi di abrayen 020-044-3513. Mesanga timu bio 020-044-3513. Na opesa o friend on telephone so ya ubenya 055-166-9325. Mitimu wo telephone no so 055-166-9325. Angel wo hwehwe yen a ubenya yen wo ha fefefe doctor mami sa asem ba ko na yo ansa na meba ho doctor no obi wo line no so mami nya onipa ko ne nkasa ne wo so no omo ni din no nkire ba bi okasa fi
pacho ye frame nana kwesi mi free Tantra Hills
nana kasa
yo mi pese mi bisa mi ma Ekufuado eni Bawumia pesa mi bisa asembi na mi de fawo so na mi de bisa na asama mi bisa ni se say omo ankasa party no anso me yi okandifo no omo tuwaba within them ena mu yi Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as a flag bearer na anso me ya ade no according to omo constitution no omo say omo betuwaba no mo yi and almost our delegate. I bear side in a year or candy for. Omuye, delegate Bino, ebinom enya car ebinom enya fridge ebinom nya television ebinom so nya envelope as kawom me pese me bisa se final day 7th December na ebeto aba no me na kwesi a mete Tantra Hills na me sorry na me fa me voted ID card why na baba me car why na baba me television why na baba me ska envelope inti me fa me nsa na me fa car na me boka na me kotu abama NPP ana kwesi a me bisa omo
yo ya te mpening bete na mamisa asam so woto abana na wanto
me ka atrewe nese meto aba ewo alajo yo free police station
yo mate
police station meto aba MPP
mate enye baby a woto ene de eno de eno
me pesa me tro sa meto ye na kasa na me di misika fa ka akoto ye
aha wana na men question na ba say nti na wuje di say wotu a loro fe ma wo eno nen
obi anya car obi anya television obi anya fridge obi anya brown envelope skachem me so be saka from Tantra Hills eko alaji ko tu aba it will feel say obi a wanya car obi sorry e de niska ko tu aba
yo nana ya to asem yetie na so pam mpanifo nso bete yo
next time o munya careful
yo meko hamano so na Dr. Obi wo hamano so bio a omayentene nene yo obi ani wo dia Dr. Sakwapon memfa me question a etwato wo ho ma wo Dr. Mbacho wo so
you me wa ha
pon Mbacho wo ho
you Mbacho me wa ha
me question a me di twato ma wo ye no de me de to so majority NPP NDC enya absolute majority in parliament nimsunso anso te den
share the way Anyema Koi ewo 8th parliament with the closeness now of how 137 one independent now. Mijedi say Ghana for ni papa.
So what's him? Na men call Hamanoso. No Hamanoso no. Omo ni ding non chire baby okasafi. Hello? Mbacha uye tiyo.
Pacho efremi ima mi frefi sunyane. Hello. Mi frefi sunyane.
Yo, ye tiyo kasa.
Pacho asema woke won. Ebia yimbisa. Ebia yimbisa me party mpeyimfo no e ka say me foka mbra na me beto aba me foka no ko ekoto aba no me sika no obontu ama me well nti enam sai nti ama nkofo fa entimi enkoto aba well nti me koto aba na ye yi no omo fa me role fe mamia omo afa ma me e say nyansa fiti sunyane eto eko central region mari min kwanyi na me dia toso me koto aba no wo fu etimukwa me di min kwa toso me lole fe me kwomu a wo mo ntwa ma me well me side adum so na ye dos wo hadum enso bebre na anko
yo mami
koto aba na ama
yanga te wasam na mum ensakra bi ese mema wasote enye party fu asede se wo mu bia lorofe na odokoto aba na woto eye wuye ye na wore ye ho adwuma se woto amfaso bi e beba pacho meba miura amfaso bi e beba no eye wode enu nti se wokoto aba eye wasede obia party biara sebe enne obia ka so obetua no lorofe aman so obi ya wadwe bi mepacho ma menwie obi ya wadwe bi no se mama takufa fa kwa eno nen na mum enye party bia enye ohye se otua oloro fema esa ade anka party bia ni obetumi ateno menwa yo wasem ne yan ate miwura ya ate mobi foforo kwan na ono nso mrem medase yo Dr. Kwapon so bi ni hamane so ya meko Dr. Kwapon ho doctor
Into now rebisa
there's a majority, absolute majority. NDC for enya Marashebegwafo ano wongenya mudodo pa akwanim na ninsunsanso ewa memu no eteden.
And one who into no share the a majority no menya na will bet me quite a number of very important things, especially some of a constitutional reforms na a president-elect John Mahama share humbono that must go through parliament, or that kind of majority to be able to kickstart, initiate processes. But one of the cautionary tales, so for me, they say sometimes unya majority bisana, so you're careful not to overplay your hand, kakra, because again, Ghana for Refreshment say to me what they are.
Mezang Mounso was him, Mr. Ofacham, Namenko Hamanaso. No Hamanaso, no, Omuni ding non baby or Kasefi.
Pepachofi, your friend me watch CCA, the mail Lashibi,
you, Murakasa.
Mepachopi, Medawasi, one baby a fe Ghana, Yajuneno, Akudru, baby a MPP, Abefa Ghana, at the Akudru. Na NDC, the Lankomu Bunipa Kwasio. Nenso, MPP a byway, Kofo time on the DHM, na papaya Obefa a day. My brother, Oma say, Oma no. Oma said, Oh, the Nipaginae. Na se uko yi Bawumia, na uche chenya maka se ya. When would you Nipanajinae? Fema maybe catch me be kumase ma maybe catch me. O say bibi ankuni say na ire no Bawumia ire no ko de Ghana sika nyina betrese. Hwe Ewrade na abo Ghana fo.
Mura so wasem wo ho. Wouldn't to men kasa yenyim film say o de Ghana sika betrese. Oh wuje di say Ewrana na ye mama no bra wo ma nikrum ma amanyosem mu na sebe on shatare. Debbie. Ayo. Sakasa. Pacho.
Madase.
Yifim ni yanko.
My year frame. Yankopon na ye Ghana dum kakra. Yankopon waboa pa. My brother. Waboa you nanka abanwe o se wini ya. Menua. Anko mu beti tini papa nsam. Ade ni nkoyi. Still waka kire wo se ade ni koyi na fanisa. What say in so still obitimi gina ho na MP mu a o say yebeko so atu ade ne ne kira wo ka kire Ghana ni na menua wa wiye se so bewini omo party no kofo de wa fam na omo maka no ekufo ado wa be say party no poto omo de Bawumia ne babiem me so be say lusu poto omo ko hihye ni yi na ngesa NDC ye ne ma yi kakra eye krofo market mekuma se pon ne ade a eni omo be say MPP amamu no kra
na that's it
pacho me that's it
mura me that's it yo doctor mpacho obi ni hamano so ria to ya wasam so
you in America, so the kind of majority a wo sisiano emma won ho kwan ma wotumi ye ne ma pa o ma hye ho bosse wo beye. I just hope say enjoying absolute majority so no emma won overplay your hand kakra because of power it has a way of sebe sometimes it me do trimu kakra Emma the voice of the minority no conform the Ghana parliament what I to say well you know young politics no usually no better say also the minority can have a say but the minority would have its way. I just hope say still it be as a minority no war important substantive contributions towards Nema to say budget ni idea majority debate even if in the end the majority ends up prevailing. Adeba kwa parliament in this 8th parliament hopefully ebebwa even in this current configuration coming into the 9th parliament NDC was super majority. One was one standing orders nekakra where some important committees of parliament it will be chaired by someone from the minority side. Appointments committee, for example, I think say there's a budget committee be a minority be chair, and then I think say oversight of constitutional bodies or something, but there are about 3 or 4 important parliamentary committees in the new standing orders, it would be chaired by the minority. May feel say such changes beboa to make sure that the minority input would still be part of the parliamentary process, even in the midst of such a supermajority for a NDC fund.
Doctor, that's it. Yababa ho. Yanko hamanoso. Nani owoso no yenti ne kasa. Ne owoso no.
Hello.
Yewu, mira bowding na kire baby okasa fi.
Ipacho, your friend Kwabra bo amekasa free sunyan.
Yo. Kwamna kasa.
Ipacho wadaroma anopedi boko me ma sema mo ba mo djuma die so. Na MPP for mo ze gugu na edi ye no. Empa for na say du mo aso de. Titro ni MPC no. Ko ha me mpaso aso ame wa sunyan It. Ona bu ne timi ba se. Ya to ba mani bi na so ba ha. Ati se se be to ba next 8 years na 4 years ansa na wa ba. Na say mu man sa na se nye ne mo bisa. Nti ngugu na edi ne de ya ntana se na ye ne mpa for na MPC ni tito an tana se an kan se bi e dia. E be tia ba po de be ye den pa. E be ye den pa manaroma. Ti mu ne mpa for no. Because
Yeah, that's. Mamenko Dr. Christopher Ampedu ho. Doc, who was here? Mamento one.
How?
Doctor, concluding remarks. Medubaba bijina mahama she bobebre. So obey to me ama ye juma. Question back on back when being a mede to so ma woye. Majority NDC enya absolute majority. So abeboa nsema being doctor edifa bo ho.
You with that baby. I say in your Doc John, wakasa baby. We shall promises are NDC. In fact, Doc, my baby, I can say my position for no. Honestly, no. Me you all knew. And me personal view. Why? Because we share a kind NDC manifesto promises over 500. And in addition to that, no, there be a President-elect Mahama Bijin be a man for an answer. Him for no do a mass between will be a why no one make another promise. Be baby. It will share campaign. Our call any additional promises are or say in addition to manifesto promises. Maybe I was just thinking about this. Hey, nka aya ye campaign trail so I enter a boss because promises upon promises baby and you are call when you promise apart from the major promise I will manifesto. Yen na so nim so my Ghana you me is got some and yet sika some say rakopelo nkra enim say both multinational agencies credit agencies nyina almost say ye rating e form enti si benye kama won ra e atam enti promises see obeden ma atwa ni nyina we winning power
majority.
What I do know is at least
majority. Wish 1 minute or what time you
what I do know. What I do know say
1 minute.
President like yes waba muda enti wabai when you say some mistake in previous time ready or no be correct no ho on say some mistake and a majority so when for me me say nijesem I make a promise president and president let I make a promise to chief imam say oh misuse the majority no emfa nye ni a obunkwa epenemu no wo bepe Ghana yedi na omo the majority no I work towards Ghana for ina kanko no me yedi I hold him his promises in your can obey nsa enti bigi say promises ye behwe say omo de bema bebo Ghana ma Ghana kanko ne Ghana yedi nso akokan
Meko Dr. Ansa majority in parliament absolute majority NDC ebeyeden 1 minute
because Emma won kwama wa ye ni a ese obetumi aye nti se when tumi anye bibia na ere nkoye se opposition a edi on ambro
yo atiefo ni ahwefo braso say ye de ndwumade na bawie yedamase medamase gina firi so daga na ni biase do biase wo menha ni titiri se moboa ne ekoto aba ne eto no asumdwe mu mome yemfa asumdwe ntena na yemfa nye ne ma won ese ade wa ban nwumam wonyae eye chiwade merachi abanza kanwa wonu bedi se na mra ne se na mesre obia se obia nkohye obia bufu yato abawie ye yi o mampanin mome yensom na ye ne won nye o man na o man ni nyeye na ye nyina ye ho ntoyen mu amutie yensem mo hwe yen aseda mode mu anya bere megye di se dase no nyankopon ma yen kwa ye beba mu mpanimfu a mususu afiri mu chinchim ma course fefefe aseda mode.
To you, it's a Saturday morning, and I'm hoping that you're having a good morning, and I hope that you have good plans for Saturday. It's